I am, as Caroline has very kindly introduced me, Queenie from Melbourne, born and raised in Lutuita, Tasmania, but I've been in Melbourne for the last 13 years now, and what a place to play music, and what a place to start. It's led me to places like beautiful Broken Hill, which I'm absolutely delighted to be sitting here in this sunny/rainy weather.
I think, like, you're from Tasmania, originally I'm from Melbourne. Neither of us, this is like culture shock, neither of us have ever lived in a temperate climate before. I don't even know what to do with myself. I've never worn short sleeves before, so...
I've never seen you in shorts, ever.
Behold my arms.
Yes, and unlike our flight this afternoon, hopefully this evening is smooth, relaxing, fun.
We went through a couple of weather patterns. It was wild, but we made it.
I did actually Google rental cars back to Adelaide for tomorrow. But no, we're going to do it. We're going to take 5 Valium and we're going to do it, Henry. We're going to do it. No, I'm very, very excited and privileged to be here on beautiful Wuyakali land. It's been a bucket list item for me to come to Broken Hill for a long time, so I'm excited. Right, should we get into it, Hank?
Sure.
Now, you've been given a great intro already, so blah, 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 blah. Doing that, yeah. We've covered a lot of ground already. You've done movie soundtracks, commercials, acting, hosting. You were actually the star of Channel 10's barbecue show, Keepers of the Flame.
That's true. You've gone deep into my Wikipedia, which I did not write.
Spicy.
But yeah, it's true. I maybe we'll get into it, but I feel like my life and my career as a creative all stemmed from writing songs. Like, you know, it's ridiculous that I've hosted a barbecue show on Channel 10, but I do honestly feel, you know, bringing it all back to APRA, that every opportunity and every stupid turn has come from screwing around in my bedroom on a 4-track, cutting and pasting a tape, writing songs in 1999. Like, and basically every bit of momentum and every creative opportunity I've had and said yes to has all stemmed from what we love doing. I don't want to presume anything, but I presume there are songwriters in the audience tonight. Every opportunity has come from being in a band and writing songs. As stupid as some of my biography and the strange points that my biography has taken me.
Let's rewind to 1999, Henry.
Sure.
I think I was 5.
Okay,
what were
that's
you doing?
Weird, but yes, okay. In 1999, I was starting to write songs. I was in bands. I was a philosophy student. I'm talking peak Melbourne wanker territory. I grew up there, and I was just a fat, greasy, curly-haired, pimply dude trying to find my way, and unsuccessfully. Like, I was really insecure. I was just trying to exist, and I found solace in music. In the 90s, I grew up listening to a lot of indie rock. I listened to a lot of Pavement. I went to see bands at the pubs in and around Melbourne. I love Neil Young. Yeah, we got another fan. You know, I was rustling through my parents' dusty record collections, like an Elvis VHS, a Blues Brothers soundtrack record, like Rod Stewart, Johnny Cash. You know, I was just soaking in my parents' record collection, watching bands. I was in a number of bands, but back in '99, I was learning to play. I never, let me clarify, I wasn't learning to play, I was learning to be playful. I never had aspirations to be a career musician, though it is what I've become in a roundabout way. I just had a lot of fun writing songs and hanging out with my friends, and I didn't want to be famous, I didn't want to be rich, I wanted to be accepted, and I wanted to just exist and feel at home. And music was my avenue. And in the 90s, a lot of those bands, the same as punk, the same as indie these days, I feel like it was approachable in a way where I felt like, even though I wasn't a trained musician, I didn't go to university to study music, I just had a 4-track and an ego, and I just wanted to stay at home and make a little orchestra of myself. And in and amongst the bands I was playing in, one day I played bass in a band called Breaking the Law. I played in a noise band named after a Polish train station. That's just because what my friends were into. But I was more into this, more show business, kind of glitzy, Elvis-y. I just wanted to have fun on stage, and I found myself writing some country songs.
Do you think that made it easier to find an audience? How did you find an audience?
Well, I was in a scene where everyone was staring at their shoes.
Shoegaze, I think it's called, yeah.
It was shoegaze. Everyone was wearing Converse and being kind of shy. And I wanted to do something that shocked people. And I think if you're a songwriter, an up-and-coming songwriter, the idea of some kind of freak value is really important. The more you align with fashion, the more you try and chase what other people are doing, the less likely it is you'll cut through. I was just, like I said, a weird-ass, fat, pimply teenager. And I, at the time in Melbourne, doing country music was a very strange thing to do. I don't know why I did it. I watched the Johnny Depp movie, Dead Man. I was reading Cormac McCarthy novels and listening to Johnny Cash, and I just wanted to make trippy Western stuff because I was just at play. I didn't have any strategy to it. I just resonated with it and played, and that's what I ended up doing, and it cut through, and I never felt like, as soon as I started making country songs, just trying to imitate my heroes, express myself and imitate my heroes, there was a natural momentum to it. I know you were only 5, but when you eventually did start, what propelled you to dare start writing your own tunes? You know, it's a big step. Like, I don't know how I did it. I just found myself doing it because I had a natural compulsion to it. What made you start writing?
I think that is a huge part of it. It's not something I think as a creative, it's not something you control, it's something that controls you in a way. Like you have interactions with people. Say I go back to Tasmania and run into someone I haven't seen since high school. You still doing your music? still in your band doing your music? I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. I am in some capacity. You always are, because I have no other choice. That is my existence, is music. And I think, like, I grew up in a musical family, so it was always there and encouraged. And I played my first show when I was 9 on stage, and I was hooked from then. So I think I was bound to do it no matter what, really.
Your mum, we were talking about this earlier, your mum was on Hey Hey at Saturday.
She was. Got the video if anyone wants to see it.
And
she looks great. Hair enormous.
When we're talking the 80s or 90s, that's the sign of gargantuan musical success, is if you can get to touch the beak of Ozzy Ostrich. That's the pinnacle of the Australian music industry. Did your mum get to touch the beak?
I have to ask her. I hope she did. I would be disappointed if she didn't.
I hope so too.
How long have you been able to be a full-time creative? Have you had other jobs? Like, is it to sustain your musical career? Part
of the reason I can push the flight into the back of my mind is an immense appreciation for being able to live and earn money off music. I've worked plenty of jobs. I've been a full-time musician, radio presenter, producer since 2009, and I consider myself incredibly lucky. I think music, unlike being a golfer, unlike being an accountant, if you're an accountant, you do another course, you get other qualifications, and as a result, you get a promotion. You get more qualified and you rise through the ranks. There's a more linear and rational progression. I feel like in music, it's much more chaotic, and you sort of have to get really lucky. You have to be anointed, and you have to ride a wave of fashion. You have to be the right place at the right time. I was my own little turbine of a freak show, playing country music in my town when not many people were. I sort of managed to ride a wave in the right place at the right time. But then once I caught the wave, I was willing to say yes, do good work, and explore a whole lot of opportunities. I think there are things you can control. Music's incredibly chaotic and incredibly brutal and unfair sometimes. But if you find yourself chasing, it's not a great idea. If you're chasing trends, by definition, you're behind the 8 ball. I think you owe it to yourself to pursue your own muse. Don't worry about prevailing fashion. Don't worry about what's on the charts. The only chance you've got of catching the next wave is to just hope that what your authentic expression is aligns with whatever's coming, because there's no predicting it. Just keep making art, and I know that if you keep making good work, stars do align. If you keep working and you keep doing your thing.
You just fling shit at the wall and hope something sticks,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You've mentioned that you obviously have done radio for such a long time. How did you get that job? Like, was that something you've had an interest in for a long time? Did you fall into it?
It's the same as it's exactly the same as doing the barbecue show on Channel 10. It's all from the band. I've been the host of Tower of Song on Double J for 11 years. It's a songwriting focused, kind of country, kind of psychedelic, kind of blues, songwriter focused, narrative focused show on Double J. I was asked to be 11 years ago, artist in residence. I was in a band I was in Wagons, I was doing my own solo thing. I was asked to be an artist in residence for a month because of my band. I had no aspirations to do radio, but they asked me to come in and program 4 weeks worth of shows because I guess I was representative of the alternative country community at the time. And I was like, yes, of course I'll do that. And I did it, and I was full of enough hot air for them. When that tenure was over, they said, hey, do you want to hang around and do a show? We need an alternative country show here. Do you want to do it? To which I said, well, how much does it pay? And
the most important question.
And thanks to your taxpayer dollars, it wasn't too bad. And I've been hanging around the ABC ever since. But yeah, it was never an intended consequence of music, but music was what led to it, if you know what I mean.
I mean, like, that's a long time. I guess you've sort of seen it from both sides of the coin, being a musician and doing radio. How much has the industry changed in the last 25 years? And how much has radio changed? And I guess people's consumption of music via the radio and for you as an artist?
In so many ways it has changed. We've moved to streaming, we've moved to the ether. You know, physical product was so important back when I first started. But I can honestly say, as much as it's changed, I feel like, even talking to you, Queenie, I feel like I'm the same person doing the same shit as when I first did that 4-track tape. I did the 4-track tape, I handed it out to my friends, I cut and pasted, I was proud of it, it was like a school project. And then I went down to the Art House Hotel in West Melbourne and played an open mic on a Tuesday night. It was a heavy metal pub, the Art House, it was called. And by the end of that show, I had my drummer, Mark Tuckerbag Dawson, who still plays with me to this day, some quarter of a century later. At the end of the show, I'd flailed around, I was sweaty, I was stupid, I sung a few songs, the drum kit was all over the floor, I'd broken 2 strings, and in a weird way, everything I've done is exactly the same. To this day, me talking at this moment, I'm that same person doing the same weird shit, and it's just led to these crazy opportunities. That open mic led to other bands that were there offering me support opportunities, and then I'd support them at the Empress, and then all of a sudden I'd headline a gig at the Empress Hotel in Fitzroy, and then, you know, I'd be playing around, we'd be playing a residency. The drum kit would be on the floor, my hands would be bleeding, I'm playing country songs, I'm acting like a knob. All of a sudden, this residency is full of people. All of a sudden, industry people come because the pubs are full. Industry are like leeches, they're like moths to a flame. I'm making the pubs money, so industry start appearing. All of a sudden I've got a manager and a booking agent because people are coming. So I never sought out any industry cogs. It was, I guess I created my own little stupid beacon, and things came, and I've never felt like I'm pushing shit uphill because there's some freak value, and I hate to be cynical, but I was doing something that was making other people money, so other people would come and see, oh shit, people are coming to this, other people can make money off this. I'm playing songs that are getting played on the radio, I can make money off this. I'm registering my songs on APRA, and there is an organic momentum. If you're a frustrated songwriter, sorry, I'm on a monologue here.
Keep going, it's beautiful.
I feel like a lot of people are going to talk to you about initiatives, grants, things you can do to help you along the way. But I really feel the best thing you can do is toil away at making good art that somehow cuts through and has some sort of freak value that attracts people to you. You know, it shouldn't feel like pushing shit uphill. If your music isn't resonating or cutting, don't torture yourself, play in a different way. It should, you know, I feel like for me, I don't know if it's for you too, songwriting should always have a sense of play. Don't be burdened by the weight of expectation or an expectation of fame and fortune or driven from bitterness or frustration. Maintain a sense of play. If that play isn't working, play in a different way. Keep it fun. And you'll, like I was in so many different bands and then I just stumbled for no particular reason on this other way of playing and this beautiful yellow brick road opened and I didn't expect it. And I've sort of followed it ever since. Does that somehow make sense? I don't know, can you relate? I don't know. Just that sense of, I feel like I speak to a lot of songwriters that are very frustrated and burdened by the industry.
And it's hard. It is hard, you know. I think it's changed so much now. The economy is so different. Music is obviously so much more accessible to so many more people, which is brilliant, and it should be accessible to people, but obviously that comes with its own challenges, I guess. When there is so much amazing music out there, how do you find it all?
I feel it's harder to, there is such an ocean of music nowadays. Streaming services has given everybody access to the entire history of music, so it's harder to cut through, but it's also easier to get your music to people all over the world. Like there are advantages and there are ways to weigh in on the plus side of things, I guess. I still feel like the importance of freak value and cut in your artistic product is really important. If you're writing, there is a huge, like, I'm going on an aside here, but there are, I don't know, let's think of the most popular bands, the most bland mainstream bands. Okay, U2. No offence, you know.
It's fine, Bono's not here.
Bono's, is Bono here? He didn't. He RSVP'd, but he hasn't attended.
He's got an ordered a chocolate martini downstairs.
But U2 started as a punk band. Kings of Leon are like, I'm mentioning them because they did take a turn to the bland. But there is, I think whenever a band is starting, the importance of agitation and cut is really important. A bit of punk, a bit of bastard, a bit of shock is really important.
Yeah.
And then when you develop that career and get attention, it helps. Like I'm thinking the antithesis is Amlin, like Amlin the Sniffers are one of Australia's biggest bands at the moment. They're huge freaks, and that's how you get the platform, a global platform.
Beautiful, lovely, angelic freaks that we love.
I love them. Like I'm so attracted to punks and freaks. And then when you get that platform, you can afford to broaden your horizons. But the trouble is, if you start with the popular, hey, I've written a song, this could be sung by Adele. But the trouble is there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people with better connections than you, more industry focus, more favouritism than you writing that kind of music. You need to be the freak, gain a platform, gain currency, and then you can work your magic on a more popular realm. I don't know. This
Number one, be a freak.
I think so.
That's
it does
it.
help.
Conference over.
Thank
If you were, oh, thank you so much, Ben.
I don't know, when I first heard your voice, when I met you, like I'd heard your music before, you have you've got amazing songs and an incredible voice. It's a sort of voice where people immediately drop their jaw, and it's like, oh,
Their jaw or their drawers? Or
it
both?
does, both helps, I think being surrounded by people, if you're making work and you're surrounded by people who go, fuck, this is amazing, you need to do more, you need to do this. If you're not, you need to impress the people around you and slowly draw your circle out until it takes over the world.
And it's a slow burn, I think, too, because we do live in a society now where, you see the rise of TikTok music and people who blow up for 15 minutes and then they're gone and you never hear from them again and they're the biggest thing in the world. I think that slow burn is so important because you do cultivate dedicated fan bases and fans who will stay with you throughout the duration of your career and support, you when you play shows. They'll buy all your merch, etc., etc. And so that, I guess, that cultivation of a fan base is really important, and you don't get that with the 15-minute rise. I mean, it's maybe some people do, but I feel, generally speaking, the slow burn is so important because it's how you connect with people.
Yep, and an ability, working on your craft, being able to deliver live.
Honing in on what you are and who you are as an artist, I think, is so important. And it takes time, it takes a lot of time to figure that out. I've been doing this for 16 years, and I feel really in the last 2 years is probably I've really felt like I've figured out my place, I guess, and who I am as an artist and where I want to go, and which is, I guess you would feel the same way, is constantly shifting and changing with your life. And
no one listened to my first 2 albums I put out. It's
yeah, me neither. Don't do that.
On the TikTok thing, I've got a funny story, because I know if you're a musician first starting out, social media is so is a ever-present spectre. There's a great success story, Debbie Dawson. I don't know if you know. She's an incredible artist. She's been signed to a major label, an offshoot of a major run by Katy Perry. Debbie Dawson, an American artist. Incredible musician. She sounds like a cross between country music and ABBA in a strange way. She's of Indian heritage, lives in Los Angeles, and is a real buzzy artist at the moment. But she started on TikTok doing live streams of her playing hangman. She had a whiteboard, and she would, you know what I'm talking about, where you do the lines
and you got to guess the word.
You got to guess the word,
yeah.
And then if you get it wrong, and she just look at the comments and would just do it. And I did watch one of these because my manager was also involved in managing her, and it's like, what the fuck's she doing? Like, she's such an incredible musician. Why is she doing this? And she did it because she liked it. She was trying to find her way. And even though it wasn't music, it was in this weird way. She was like a bit of a nerd. She just liked doing this. And the TikTok was part of her authentic, weird-ass creative expression. It wasn't fake. I think everyone's got a good bullshit detector. And even though streaming, playing hangman sounds like the biggest load of bullshit you've ever heard, there was something real about it.
And it works. And I think people know, regardless of whether they have an understanding of the music industry or social media or how, I guess, things eventuate and work, people detect, like, genuine musicianship. Like, people know, even if they're not well versed in music or have no, I guess, theoretical understanding or understanding of the industry, people know when you're genuine.
I think so too. People have got, you can immediately tell if someone's a fame whore. If so, like,
Which is just you to a T, Henry.
Exactly. But, you know, I'm not a fan of some of the big pop artists. Like, you know, Ed Sheeran's not my thing. I got respect for this man, you know.
Yeah, there'll be no slandering gingers around here, Henry.
Well, oh, sorry. He's one of your own. But I think I don't like Ed Sheeran's music or his vibe particularly. But I can tell that he likes it. You know, I can tell it's an authentic expression for him. I heard Zan Rowe, one of my compatriots at the ABC, interview Max Martin, who's the man who's written every pop hit for Britney Spears and so many others. Pretty much dominated the charts in the 90s and the noughties in terms of pop. And he was like, so many people, I've seen so many people trying to deconstruct what I do. A verse, half a verse, bridge, chorus, sub-bridge, pre-chorus, 2 choruses and out. And it's like, I just like it. I just like this music, and I'm writing with Britney, I'm writing with whatever, and this is my shit. I just like doing this. And I think if, as much as I'm a little cynical about that scene, I honestly don't think anyone gets success, no matter how plastic or saccharine the scene is. No one gets success unless you're following your mojo and your creative muse. If you're chasing, it's not a great thing.
I'd love to talk about overseas touring. You visited so many continents and you've toured all around the world, throughout the US and Europe and the UK.
Broken Hill.
You've toured Vietnam. How did your where did your jet setting start? What was the first country that you went to?
Well,
Outside of home?
it's echoing the same sort of sentiment that I'm saying. I was playing in bands, I was playing in residencies, and creating a sense of community with what I was doing. And because I was around about getting people to my shows, the next step is promoters from overseas acts might offer you a support show. If you're seen as a commodity, you might contribute to an act who's touring to sell tickets. So that opportunity came with me. I toured with a bunch of artists that I admired, alt country dudes, Bill Callahan, Will Oldham, Sun Kill Moon, but a big break for me was Justin Townes Earle, who is, for those who know, Steve Earle's son, but also a modern day Americana pioneer. He's sadly passed away now, but my overseas touring started by supporting an American act, getting on with them, doing well, and then after the tour, Justin said, hey, I want you to tour with me over in the US, and he took me to the USA. He wrote some nice things about me in my bio, which led to me being signed in the US. I was in the US touring, which led me to go to Canada, which got me signed in Canada. It all feels like an organic flow. Each step was unintended, but a consequence of just building a slow snowball, which started in my suburb in Melbourne and just slowly oscillated out. And I've since still at the, you know, in my mid to late 40s, I got to go to, you know, Scandinavia for the first time last year. The idea of playing music in Gothenburg blows my mind. It's so stupid. I'm still just making this crazy ass country music and getting to go to all these far-flung places, like you said, Vietnam. But I feel it's all an extension of doing well at home and slowly building my story.
And a lot of that was with Dead South.
Recently.
Right, recently, yeah.
Recently, yes.
What's it like? I mean, they're a huge band.
It's a Canadian sort of gothic bluegrass band. Has
And-
anyone heard of the Dead South by any chance? A couple of people. It's either a band you sort of have never heard of, or you. I think it's there's no monoculture anymore. You know, so people disappear up different avenues and different veins. And Dead South are one of those. You've either heard of them or never heard of them. I mean, we sold out, the Dead South sold out Hindley Street Music Hall in 3 days in Adelaide. Sold out the Hordern Pavilion in Sydney. Festival Hall in Melbourne, which holds, 5,500 people. No one's heard of this band. They dress up like grave diggers and play gothic bluegrass music, and they're from Saskatchewan, Canada. What's going on? But
It was amazing. It's amazing that people come out in droves to see, I guess, something that's not really like mainstream music.
You don't have to be mainstream, but they are freaks.
Yeah.
And I first played with them 10 years ago in a ski town called, this is an aside, but it might be worthwhile. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but just one little aside. I played with this band, the Dead South, in front of 40 people in Roslyn, Canada, which is a ski town in the middle of summer. And we played at a pub called the Flying Steam Shovel. And I remember walking in and loading in my guitar. And as I walked into the pub, there were 2 Canadians at the front bar. There was no bartender. It was just 2 random Canadians sitting at the bar. And I walked in as an Australian on tour in Canada. I was peaking. I loved it. And the Canadians pointed at me and said, "Oh, hey, you're that guy in the poster." I'm like, yeah, that's me. G'day, mate. G'day, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
G'day. And they're like, "Me and my friend were trying to figure out whether you were a pedophile or a cocaine dealer." It's a true story. I told them that.
I hate that they were the only 2 options.
Yeah, I know. I didn't tell them.
You could have been Crocodile Dundee.
I think I said the night is young. But it was that gig where we played to nobody. The Dead South had just released a video maybe a few months earlier that it had already had 100 million views on YouTube. It was the 5th. This is, you know, adds weight to the story I'm telling. You can never control or rationalise what happens in music. They released the 5th single off a record, the Dead South. They weren't even wanting to release this song. The song wasn't even sung by the lead singer of the band. It was sung by the bass player, only because they knew a guy that was a filmmaker who wanted to do a music video for them for free. So they released this 5th single for whatever. Who gives us stuff? Let's just do it. And they did a kind of proto TikTok. It was sort of, they were walking down a train track doing a little dance. And it was pre-TikTok, it was pre all that stuff, but it resonated. And now, if you look up, I think it's called In Hell I'll Have Good Company by the Dead South.
Great song.
Great song. You know exactly what it is. This has had up there with like Taylor Swift numbers. It's had like 600 million views. Like it's one of the most viewed YouTube videos ever. out of nowhere, the 5th single of a song sung by the bass player they didn't even want to put out. That's how stupid the industry is. And now they can play Portland, Maine, Warsaw, Poland, sell out huge Melbourne, Australia, sell out festival hall off the back of something that they have an appreciation for being a crazy fluke. And you know...
And the freak value.
The freak value.
And the freak value is really important. They were doing something and they were tapping into what would become incredibly mainstream, that sort of slightly choreographed vibe, before anyone else was doing it. You can never know when you'll catch that wave, but they caught it, and they know and appreciate it. I don't know. An interesting one. Good question. Great question.
Yeah,
and I've probably answered it in 15 minutes.
You have. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left, I think.
Oh yeah, good.
You have done some amazing collaborations over the years.
With you.
Present company included.
Yes.
Thanks to APRA, actually. We did the IRL at the 2023 APRA Awards. I was playing and you were hosting.
Yes.
So we have APRA to thank for
you,
all
APRA.
our success.
We put out a record together of kind of, I don't know, psychedelic country duets called Queenie and Hank last year that maybe, if you're not sick of my bullshit, you can have a listen to. But yeah.
How I'd love to delve into the importance of collaboration, because that's such a huge tool for artists to, I guess, expand their audience to people who would maybe never otherwise have discovered them or found them. Like personally, I'm a huge collaborator. I love it. I get such great joy from working with other musicians, and whether that's because I'm limited in my instrumental abilities or not.
You're not. You're a great guitar player.
Okay, that's it though.
I think, especially we're talking...
4 chords and the truth, as they say.
When we're talking about APRA, when you're reading rock and roll biographies, it's all too easy to get caught up in songwriting splits. A lot of people in the business worry about, hey, I don't want a manager, I don't want to give up 20% of what I earn. I don't want to collaborate because I've written this song and I don't want to give 50% for someone who hasn't given 50%. Like, people are cagey about collaborating because they don't want to split the pie. But ultimately, like you said, collaborating with just an extra pair of eyes takes you out of your own arse. You know, it's like it just gives a broader perspective. I did a songwriting session with apologies, this is another aside. I did a songwriting session with a guy in LA who's originally from Australia. His name's Shags. And I showed up to his... Do you know Shags?
No, but that's cool.
Shags,
I feel like I want to know Shags.
I'm like, Shags was a member of the band Ariel Pink. Cool guy around LA. And I knew him from Melbourne, and I showed up at his house in Highland Park, Los Angeles. And he showed up, and he wandered out of the screen door of his share house in like a Hugh Hefner robe. And instead of greeting me with, hey, I'm looking forward to writing a song with you, Henry, blah, 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 he wandered on out and said, oh, Henry, let me show you through my cactus collection. And he walked around his, thank you, he walked around his front yard and just showed me through all his cactuses and the ant colony.
Wow.
And then he said, we should get some lunch. I know a good Mexican place. And we wandered for, I reckon, 45 minutes along the streets of LA. And he took me to a vegetarian Mexican place, and we had avocado burritos. They were great. But I'm looking at the watch going, what the... Like, I've allocated an afternoon for this guy, and I've been here for 2.5 hours and we haven't done shit. I know about his cactuses and I've eaten some avocado. And I'm in the middle of God knows where, in the middle of LA. We walk back to his house, and as we're walking back, worrying about wasting time, I said, Shags, I don't care. I'm not fussy. I'm loving this experience, but are we actually going to write a song? Are we going to do anything? And he's like, don't worry, Henry. I've allocated 45 minutes for creativity. And we wrote a song, and we went back into his room, and his room didn't have a door. It just had one of those like beaded Mona Lisa sort of things that you spread open.
I'm understanding what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shags,
Shags.
the beaded
Yeah,
curtain.
yeah.
It's really all just adding to the visuals.
I walked, all he had in his room was a bed, and every wall, 3 walls were covered in records, and he's like, I think you need to write a song like Richard Clapton's Capricorn Dancer. Let me get it down. And he just spent about another 20 minutes trying to get this record and sample a beat into his computer. By that time, I was trying to learn the chords, and I sort of got together some words about the day and the chord structure. Basically, while he was fumbling around, while he was showing me through his cactuses and taking me to eat, I wrote this song that ended up being the first single off the Wagons record, Songs from the Aftermath, called Keep On Coming Back, which was the biggest single off that record and one of our biggest streaming songs. Shags did not write a note of that, but he got 50%, and he earned every percentage point because he was the vibes guy.
The inspiration's half the battle, you know.
He created this. He set the scene, and that was just so important. I think many would argue he deserved more than 50%. I guess I'm just making the point. Don't get hung up on songwriting percentages, and it doesn't always come, inspiration doesn't always come in the way you think it will. Shags showed me a very strange, obtuse way through songwriting that I'll never forget.
I love it.
Disco hour is on.
Turn it up!
Turn it up! Woo! I love you, Broken Hill. I think that's it. I think that's all we've got. Are we going to do
Audience
some
questions,
Q&A?
mate.
A little Q&A-y? Who's got a question? Anyone with questions?
I've got one.
Amy, yes?
You were talking, Henry, about early on just kind of finding the fun with jamming with people.
Yes.
Just trying to play. I guess if you were, say, advising a very early on jam band
Yeah.
that was forming,
Asking for a friend.
do you think, what are some important keys, say, learning your instruments, consistently showing up, more trying to have fun? What do you think are some key elements to creating
Is this your
cohesion?
band?
Well, a few people have started trying to jam a little bit sort of
Yeah.
regularly and trying to think about what's a good way to make it fun, make it something that you want to come back to.
I have some advice.
Yeah.
I think this is really important. Don't let, at this point, before you've got anything out, before you know if anything will happen, don't let anyone get too serious. And I think you've got, I don't know you well, but from what I can tell, you've got your head screwed on. I think you should take over this band. And what I think you should do is take on the burden of the hard logistical stuff and make it easy for everyone and make sure it's fun for everyone. Write pleasant text messages, create a group chat.
It's all on you.
It's all on you. Because if for any second this becomes a burden, a band in its embryonic state, in its infancy, as soon as it becomes too serious, people start drifting off. I had a friend of mine called Ned Larnett Jones, who had a band. He was my ex-roommate. He started a band called Ned and the Neds, He's like, Henry, the rehearsal was terrible. Like the bass player was shit. When I told him what to play, he got so angry. And it was like everyone was so serious, and by the end of it, it's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't want to be in this band. This sounds like the worst rehearsal ever. I'd be walking out. There's no investment. There's no... Basically, the creative process and offering creativity and community is so fragile that it's like a butterfly in the wind. If it becomes too difficult, people just drift away. If you're serious about this band, you do everything and just make it fun and a soft, or you do it. I think you're doing this. And make sure it's a soft landing for everyone, because you'll get immense satisfaction out of this. And also everyone else will have fun. And it will blossom into something, but it can never be as soon as it becomes a burden in those embryonic stages, it will disappear.
If it's not fun, it's not fun. You know?
It's like, what is it? Those sea monkeys, or like if you're like cultivating a mushroom or something. Like that embryonic state of a band is really important and really fragile. So you need to, like a seedling, you need to nurture it for everybody, and that's really hard to do. You need to be I think you're a wonderful gardener. You should be called Burke's Backyard.
Great shrubbery. Any other questions? Yes.
The legal side of things.
Yes.
Hang on, let me get a mic over. Is this going to reach, do we think? There we go. Oh, good. All right.
I'll come over there.
Done that before.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Baz on bass.
Hey, Baz.
Yeah, Baz.
Howdy. I've been in bands, all original bands. I tend to disagree about the embryonic side of it.
Yeah.
When you're there, you should already be committed to a purpose with that band.
Yes.
I know how fragile creativity is, but the legal side of it, like you toured.
Yes.
So who did all your legal stuff when you did this? When you did the signings and stuff like that? How did that happen? Did you have a lawyer and a team and admin behind you?
I think getting
Raw dogged it, as they say.
I've been lucky enough. I've been involved with multiple labels. I've been in situations where I've brokered. My band's been signed with one label, and then I've solo been signed with another label. Especially in today's industry, no one's making much money.
But how do you get to that point of, yes, I'm going to sign. I'm signing away. How do you get to that point saying, yes, this is right?
I think you've got to go, especially when resources are low,
Yeah.
you need to go on common sense. If you're consulting lawyers, bands split up that have never made money based on acrimony over songwriting splits. Before they've ever made money, about the prospect of, well, if we get famous, I'm not going to get rewarded. I think it's too early. Until you're famous, you can deal with it when you're famous. If you are hard done by, when everyone's making millions of dollars, you'll have the resources to fight that battle then. If you're hung up on legality, do your due diligence. These days you can even type it into ChatGPT. Do whatever you can with the limited resources you've got. I don't know where on the spectrum you are. Consult a lawyer, consult mentors that you like, that have been in the industry in the past. Whatever you can get to with the resources you've got to make yourself feel comfortable and not be held back by that bullshit. Because what you can do is, if you're an artist, a true artist, and you get ripped off in a deal with the band, you walk away and make more art. Don't let the nuts and bolts of the industry hold up productivity in art. Like, I don't think, I've seen too many bands falter because of legality and industry crap. Don't. That's my thought on that. I don't know if you feel the same, because you're signing a new situation at the moment.
It is hard, and I think this, with the industry the way it is, people aren't throwing money around the way they used to. I have had conversations with my mum. She's still 150k in debt to Warner. She's never going to pay that off. But labels don't have that kind of money now, and I think because it is so hard to access, you need money. You need money to do it, and to progress, I guess, is a really hard thing for emerging artists that don't have label backing. So I think, you consult your mentors. You don't sign anything without reading it. And I guess you weigh up what is more important to you. And I guess for me personally at this stage, I need money. And if someone can invest in me at this stage now to help me move forward, that's what I have to do. And whether, of course everyone gets hung up on selling your publishing or your songs or whatever, but I think if you've got your wits about you and read your contract, and if you have a bad gut feeling about it, don't do it. But at the same time, it's like at this point in time, the way the industry is, and I guess for me, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Just one more thought. Like you said, what was your name again?
Baz.
Baz on bass.
Baz on bass.
You're a bass player. If whoever's writing the songs doesn't appreciate your contribution enough, that's a decision for you. If you're arguing or fighting over someone not appreciating you enough, you shouldn't be there. You like an artistic relationship where you don't feel appreciated isn't going to bear good fruit.
I'm not in a band at the moment, but yeah, I'd love to hear those real world things.
Yeah.
How much does APRA help in that regard?
Like with the legal side of things?
Just the copyright side, I guess.
We don't.
Just the
but
copyright side.
We do have, there are organisations like Arts Law that is
Yeah.
available that you can go to, and you get a certain number of free sessions, I believe, and they have lawyers that cover all kinds of contract law and everything across the arts industry. So if you get a contract and you're like, this feels dodgy or not right, or someone's pushing you to sign something, those kind of organisations and like media arts law and things like that. I think there's stuff on our website.
Yeah,
about
there's
it.
lots of resources.
Yeah,
I know
then
I've
you can
consulted
contact
them.
them and you can get people to look over your contracts, and you don't have to pay extortionate legal fees if you're not in a position to do that at this point. So yeah, even if you need a sounding board, they do free like 30-minute to 1 hour conversations if you need to talk through like splits and stuff like that, or publishing or anything. They are available.
Good to know.
Beck has got you covered. But I also want to say, don't be afraid to get ripped off. Because every
We've all
single...
been ripped off.
Part of the origin story.
I'm talking Bob Dylan, Pink Floyd, Neil Diamond, like every rock and roll story. Leonard Cohen, every band has had it that becomes huge, gets ripped off, and it's part of the story arc. It shouldn't be, and perhaps with the correct advice, it won't be. But the good thing is, the power you've got as a creative and as an artist is you can move on and make more stuff, learn and sign a better deal next time.
And use resources.
Use
They're out there, and it's, I guess, maybe not always obvious and presented to you at all times, but they are out there. You know, I think it's very easy in this world to feel like you're so alone, or, you know, like you said, I can't get a lawyer to come and check over this contract because I don't have $500 a minute to be spending for someone to read this. But there are resources out there, and I think making sure people know that is really important.
Yeah.
Really important.
I was just going to say, if you have a look on the AIM website, as in like that, so Australian Music Industry Network, that is Music New South Wales, Q Music, Music SA, all of those orgs in each state. If you go to the AIM website, we've done a really great collaboration with them and the Arts Law Centre of Australia to create a not a tax pack, we did a tax pack as well, a legal pack for musicians, and it's really helpful. Really good resources, templates, things like that. So a good place to start to have a look. So go to, I think it's amin.org.au, and there's a legal pack for musicians. AMIN.
That's awesome. So awesome.
Anyone got any more questions? This has been fun.
It's been so fun. This is just us at the bar usually. It's the
Thanks.
same thing, we just amplified.
Can you sing us a song?
Should we sing you a song? All right, we'll sing
can
you
do
a
that.
song. Thank you so much. Thank you, APRA. Thank you, Music New South Wales, for inviting us all the way to beautiful Broken Hill. It's been a wonderful evening. Thank you all for coming. What a joy it's been. Just to yap.
I know.
Henry.
I'm going to have a microphone at every one of our barroom conversations now, Queenie.
We should do a podcast.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've got to say, we're not temporary.
Thanks, legend.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Kingy.
No worries.
Oh, we're standing here. Oh, I'm not turning around. No one needs to look at my sweaty butt.
Round of applause for the amazing Amy for also
Oh, yeah.
lending us the guitar.
And setting up the PA.
Any guitar players got a plectrum in their pocket by any chance?
Oh, I might have my wallet.
I'll be alright, it's alright.
I'll have a look. There's usually one. Might be out of luck, Henry.
That's alright.
Got a fountain.
I got a... That might be handy.
Need that for yeah. Sorry, I have another These beautiful long nails of yours.
Got built-in picks, don't you?
Should we play a song that might earn someone else royalties?
Yeah. You're well whipped up for me.
Oh, look at that.
I see faces
I hear rivers overflowing. I know the end is coming soon. I hear rivers overflowing. I hear the voice of rage and ruin. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad mood on the rise.
I hope you got your place together.
I hope you quite prepared to die.
Looks like we're even next to winning.
One eye's
Taken for a man.
Don't go around tonight, 'cause it's bound to take your life. There's a bad mood. Oh. On the rise.
What do you reckon, Henry? Well, should we do another one together, do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
What can you remember of our songs that we do a lot?
Do you want to do Anyhow I Love You?
Do you do? We butchered this at Hamlet. Really bad.
Wish I had a dime. We turn this off.
Yeah.
Let's.
2 2 2. Hit 1 2. Crack it. Yeah. The 2
Yeah,
2 2
baby.
2.
Oh, wait.
Hit.
A little bit.
I wish I had a dime for every bad time,
Let me get them.
but the bad times always seem to keep the change.
So you know what I'm saying. All chemicals.
Just wait until tomorrow when you wake up with me at your side and find I haven't lied about nothing. Wouldn't trade a dream for the way I feel about you in the morning. Anyhow, I love you.
Every day gets just a little bit better. Have to get there's nowhere I can afford.
And I'm sure you understand, 'cause I ain't your first man.
Or 11 or 12.
When you feel like running for the back door, don't. Just wait until tomorrow when you wake up with me at your side and find I haven't lied about nothing. I wouldn't trade a dream for the way I feel about you in the morning. Anyhow, I love you. like that.
Something like that. What do you reckon?
A
More?
solo song from Queenie.
Alright, let's focus.
What should I do, Hank? What do you reckon?
We'll do the APRA nominated song, should we? Probably that one. Right, this is about the ex-boyfriend. I've been waiting most of my life to feel something warm inside. Why won't you just hold my hand just for a second? Breathing shallow, hoping it's right. Can't make out the shapes in the light. My skin crawls in, I can't go back, so I ask you twice. Baby, I'm not divine. Make me feel so I've been longing something that's right. Pieces ripped from every skies. Why won't you just hold my hand so that I feel it? Why do all my days go by, still connecting thousand sorry hearts? I am so tired and full of lies, so I ask you twice. Baby, I'm not divine. Like a big fade out kind of jam vibe for like 10 minutes. Dance around a little bit. You can just visualize that. Thank you all so much. All right.
I'll play one and we'll have a drink. Hey, thanks all.
Can I just say one thing before you start that? A couple of you did send in songs to be shared tonight. After Henry's finished playing, I will hook those up to the speaker so people are like mill around. It's like a bit less official, but if you want to hear a couple of songs written by locals, then they're going to play and stick around for that.
I love it. let's do our own episode of Australian Idol. Listen to some songs, judge them. I love that. This is a song not by Willie Nelson, but called Willie Nelson, okay? Hey, that country music with the country feel, a little bit of Willie Nelson with our evening meal. Oh, Willie, 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 Willie Nelson. We got stacks of cash, sweet baby, we got everything we need. An old banjo and a live steel slide, playing for an evening feed on Willie, Willie, Willie Nelson. He likes some salt and pepper with his evening meal. He likes some salt and pepper with his evening meal, just like here at the hotel. Likes some salt and pepper with his evening meal. He likes some salt and pepper with his evening meal. Who is it? Willie, Okay, if I haven't told you enough about myself already, here's a little bit more, okay? Under the shadow of the fan. Sometimes I listen to Elvis. Sometimes I listen to Cash. Sometimes I listen to Queenie. But it all comes back to the one and only no contrapuntal harmonies, just sing along as I sing it. I'm not concerned about the key either. Just join in, doesn't have to be angelic. Let's just make it strong and let all the people that are pumping disco out of their cars be drowned out. Are we ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Willie, come on. Willie. How did they do?
Solid 6.
6 at best. One more time. Here we go. I don't need to plug this in. I just need to fucking get up here. Are we ready? Here we go. I'm broken. I can destroy furniture. It doesn't bother me. I just need to get at a point where I can witness everyone sing this with me. We ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck karaoke downstairs. We're drowning them out. Apologies for breaking the chair. No weaker furniture has ever seen the likes of this. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Willie, Willie, Willie.
going, guys.
That was great fun. Thanks for the guitar.